Developing an affordable one-chip personal computer through technology reuse. Development proposal. One-chip personal computer, 1CPC, by doctorand engineer economist Robert-Bela, PhD researcher, engineer and economist. 1CPC proposal. Content. Personal introduction. Final goal, medical purpose implant. Today's problem statement. 1CPC, origins of this idea. 1CPC project proposal and description. 1CPC chip, feasibility demonstration. 1CPC, pricing forecast. 1CPC, common pins, common socket. 1CPC, exploring the benefits. 1CPC, benefits of realizing 1CPC. 1CPC, phases to realize 1CPC chip. 1CPC project, final words and conclusions. Personal introduction. My name is Robert-Bela. I am an electronic engineer and now a PhD doctoral student in the third year, last year, at University of Oradea, Romania. My research domain is about BCIs, brain-computer interfaces. I have also a bachelor degree in marketing. I am driven by the desire to develop and market affordable technology, electronics, to benefit the people in parts of the world, especially where the newest and latest technology cannot be afforded. In BCI domain, in my research domain, is also a big problem with the lack of existing implantable hardware. In the next slides, next minutes, I want to show you how can be resolved both problems, in my view, presented on the slide before. Affordable electronics and lack of implantable hardware of BCI applications. If you will have any questions or observations, please write an email to onechippersonalcomputer@gmail.com. Medical purpose implant. This, what you can see in the picture, would be the final goal of creating this chip, but this would be just one goal. The concept presented in this image would be the ultimate goal, by realizing for BCI research groups the needed implantable and safe hardware. But to arrive to this image, I have to describe you the whole concept of 1CPC by starting it from the ground. Problem statement. What is normally understood by the terms of computer system, or what SoC or system on chip means for the people? The answer probably will refer to something acting as a whole computer, including every part of a standard PC. The SoC, system on chip concept, is often misused. The end user, the buyer, is misled and understands that all the components are integrated in the chip, but this is not true. Only few microcontrollers have the volatile and or non-volatile memory integrated in the chip. Today's processing units are not real SoCs. 1CPC, origins of this idea. The original USB hub, the starting point for this idea. If one USB port would be modified in VGA port and the other USB port would be a LAN connector, and a stereo audio in and audio out would be on the PCB too, then a whole computer equivalent object, a whole computer system can be created and could be fit in that size. Instead of the USB control hub chip's containment, it could be integrated in the same physical space, a chip that contains a combined x86 32-bit processor and an ARM processor core. Non-volatile memory, for example flash memory. RAM memory, called also L4. Clock generator. Local area network controller. Video graphic accelerator, older generation or newer ones. Audio controller. GPIO controller. USB controller. An accessing system to the non-volatile memory. SD card controllers for 2 cards. PS2 controller. ADC and DAC having on 24 bits, it's important. DSP, FPGA, neural networks, and or anything other. The 1CPC concept is meant to realize a real SoC, including all the important components of a computer. This project is meant to be a demo of chip makers' high-end products and their technical achievements by reusing a simplified version of their older or new existing products, chips, architectures, concepts. All these parts were never before on the same silica die. The proposed socket of the 1CPC chip can be reused for a long time, so the material waste can be drastically reduced. The socket is conceived to host low-level, low-price chips and or the state-of-the-art chips too, and to be able to be upgradable anytime. Please observe the proposed socket 140 based on the old BIOS chip's pin size. 1CPC feasibility demonstration. Let's take one RAM memory module with 4 GB capacity and 8 chips. One RAM memory chip is 512 MB capacity. This capacity contains about 8.6 billion transistors. If we leave just 128 MB RAM memory unmodified on the silica surface, representing about 2.15 billion transistors, if we subtract from 512 the 128 MB, the remaining transistor number is about 6.44 billion transistor. 6.44 billion transistors remain unused on the chip's surface. Or with other words, let's take again the 512 MB RAM memory module, the chip, sorry. This is, the white is the silica die. 128 MB RAM is untouched. It remains the same as before. The rest of the zone is unused transistor and surface. It's much likely on surface, but on this surface you can integrate from the calculations about 6.44 billion transistors. If only half, 3.22 billion of transistors can be realized in reality on the rest of the remaining unused surface, there is also placed for let's say Pentium 3 or equivalent processor. It has around 28 million transistors. 2. ARM2 processor, about 30,000 transistors, or even a newer, better one. 64 MB flash memory, it needs just 256 million transistors. Any others? Clock generator, IMC, simplified VGA and local area network controller, SD card controller, DAC, ADC, simplified sound card, or any other components presented on slides 13-14. As you can see, there remains plenty of space for any other reduced complexity structures or architectures on the silica surface. 1CPC pricing forecast. Let's take the same RAM memory module, 4 GB capacity, 8 chips. One RAM memory chip has 512 MB capacity. It costs about $2.2 US. How? Why? Let's say the module costs about $23 US, the whole module. We have to take the VAT, it's about 24% in Romania, so the module costs $17.5 US, the 8 chips. $17.5 US divided by 8 means about $2.2 US per one chip. 1CPC is targeted in the marketing view for the BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, Republic of South Africa, and for the developing countries too. Just to clarify, 1CPC is aimed for everyone, as every people around the globe can afford it and can buy it because of its small price. 1CPC, common pins, common socket. In the image can be seen an example of 1CPC chip layout with 2 micro SD card slots for internal non-volatile memory extension. It's an above view. 1CPC is conceived to be a real SoC, Other chip makers can use Socket 140 for their much better products too, by realizing their own SOPs, system in package, or SOMs, system on module. An example of proposed use of each pin of the future 1CPC chip and Socket 140 can be seen above. Having an Intel or AMD x86 32-bit processing core and an ARM core in it, it would give a good opportunity for the future programmers and engineers to know both architectures well. In the above image, it's presented a 1CPC chip in socket 140 and the motherboard and its way how to solder or extend, how to connect to it a SATA extension port. Refactoring, reducing, recycling, and the revolution in technology by creating a real SoC, an all-in-one computer chip. All of these are the foreseen results and goals of 1CPC. 1CPC, exploring the benefits. The cheapest basic incomplete computer costs around $161. Only motherboard, processor, RAM, memory, hard disk drive, power source, and case. No screen, no keyboard, no mouse, no speaker, etc. and no operating system is included in this price. A lot of people can't afford even these prices, and only the hardware part is presented, but the software, operating system, and any other programs can cost even much more than a whole computer. 1CPC is an opportunity for any participating company to promote their brand through their logo appearing on 1CPC chip's box. Reaching out to potential participants. As you can see, about 46% of the world's population has no access to the internet. This data is from 30 November 2015, as found on this site. On other side, the values are approximately the same. Application example, coming back to the final goal, the medical purpose implant. 1CPC chip should not be only a computer, but because of its foreseen small size, it can be implanted too. 1CPC medical division should be created for developing cheap and reliable devices for hospitals, for places on Earth where the hospitals can buy a new standard medical device. 1CPC, benefits of realizing 1CPC. 1CPC should be designed mostly for education purposes by teaching and preparing the new generation of engineers and programmers. Experience with 1CPC should prepare them using and understanding the already existing systems. If the children are familiar with these architectures and systems by learning on 1CPC chip, we will create an informed workforce for the future by creating skills. 1CPC could be also the presentation card for new technologies or new concepts too. 1CPC, phases to realize the 1CPC chip. There is no need for financial investment during the first phase. Financial contribution is not expected during phase 1, but participation and support through know-how sharing is required. This is a call to share non-financial resources. This is a call for interested organizations and groups of engineers and private persons around the globe to participate in the development and proof of concept. No financial contribution is required, only your time. 1CPC project, final words and conclusions. The presented 1CPC concept and project is only an idea. To become a reality, people are needed first of all, and their actions to collaborate. People and actions. From the helping companies, any kind of useful information is needed. I have to publish scientific articles in this domain of research as a PhD researcher or student. If any group of researchers or engineers do like the 1CPC idea and concept and want to publish articles based on the ideas and facts presented here, please contact me too, to be able to cooperate so both parts involved, the research group and me, to publish common articles with high impact in our research domains. 1CPC chip has to be designed to be backward compatible in case of the used programs. The chip has to be reliable, robust, stable, but it will be slower compared to the today's existing chips. I hope this concept was clearly presented. Your participation and any help to make it happen is welcome. 1CPC ending. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or observations, please write an email to onechippersonalcomputer@gmail.com. Thank you very much.